YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I. Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Absolutely fabulous, I hope. And man, do you believe the weather here in Ohio and Indiana and stuff today, this week? Oh my goodness. We have a great guest tonight. Rose and I had the great privilege of meeting this guy down in Nashville, Tennessee. Many of you might already know him, Broc the Rock. So I'm gonna slide over to the other set. And
I'm there.
And we're there. Already got us up.
I know.
And your mics are hot.
Evening,
Cool.
everybody. Howdy.
Hello, everybody.
Ain't got a bat in the cave, do I?
Oh, HP, he's just popping in for a second and saying hello. Sorry you're at work, man. Have a good day.
Okay. Well, have fun at work, the other Ed. I almost said HD. The other Ed.
HD would probably work good too.
Yeah, no, but he's the other Ed.
The other Ed. Hey, other Ed. Have a great night at work and
Yes.
give our love
Have
to
fun.
Sister Judy.
What's up, heavy metal detective?
What's going on, JP?
Hello, Holly.
Oh, speaking of Holly Nabity, her husband Rusty is a disabled vet, and he's interested in Take a Vet Prospecting Project.
Awesome. I'm always interested in that.
So we'll get back a hold with Rusty, Holly. Let Rusty know unless he's sitting right next to you and he heard us. Hello. Tazzy Adventures, how are you
Tazzy,
doing, Brad?
Let's not forget Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator
Yeah.
on the inner zone.
Oh, Jaron.
Jaron.
We have Small Town
Mr.
Adventures.
Bitcoin.
He was the first in the house tonight. Mad Hatter Prospecting.
Tidewater magnet thrower. Howdy.
Welcome. That's Tidewater. Yeah. I've seen him around. Kevin Hubbard. I misheard what you said, Jesse, and I'm like, that sounds like a new name.
What's going on, Mark? Evening. Mark Miller.
Mark, roll call, he says.
What's up?
Willie, good to see you.
Jason, AU, Colorado. How are you tonight?
How you doing?
Good to see you too. And
He says
Marissa,
he's still
welcome.
working, but we're all in his pocket.
What up, Mrs. JP?
Right on.
This is JP
Yeah,
and
do
the
you have
Bulldogs.
stickers, Mrs. JP? Because if you had stickers, I'd flash them in front of the screen.
JP, work on some Mrs. JP and the Bulldogs
Heck yeah.
stickers.
The Bulldogs should be in them for sure.
Marissa, welcome. Steve Howden, welcome. Good to see you.
I don't know how many likes you got right now, Ed, because your numbers are not appearing. But if you guys haven't got the blue like, hit it. Make it blue.
Make it blue.
Hello, Lacey. How are you?
Lacey. Hey, Ellsworth.
Yep.
Tanya, good to see you. Dive for Good, good to see you in the house.
It's got beat Bigfoot in the house.
Richard Quick. And
Okay,
Malaysia
what's up?
metal detector was here but gone, and we have Ringo. Ringo's in the house.
Oh no, what time is it?
Tim Borton.
Okay.
It's after
You made
8.
it, you made it on time, ERRT.
Jess, you had me stressed out for you for a second. I was like, is something wrong?
Yeah, I just
Ellsworth.
seen what time it was. He was within that 8 minutes.
Well, you know what we say at work, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. So, Ellsworth, good to see you. Say hi to the girls. Ron F., Terry Curry. I'm at the top of my list.
Did you say Ron F?
Ron F.
You guys, I won a treasure jar on Sunday.
Yeah. Old dog, how are you?
Old dog comes in and yells, Rose!
Rose!
So they say, James, I love you. Mwah.
Carrie S. Shelton, hello. He says, hello, everyone.
No, you weren't late, Ellsworth.
Hey, you guys.
Oh, we have another one. Virginia Bigfoot. Rose!
That's magic. It's magic typing right there.
Hey, Busy Bee Detecting, how you doing? Been a minute.
Thomas Folks, what's up, buddy? Lucky Ducky.
Look, good old Lucky Ducky Thomas folks. Always good to see you, my friend.
You bet.
It's always good to see all of you.
In the house tonight.
What's up, Patrick?
What's up, Patrick?
Oh, Patrick, say hi to Susie Q.
Yes. And don't forget Ava. Singing with Deej.
Hi,
How are you
Deej.
What's up, Deej?
I'm really looking forward to meeting Deej at Flash Bash. It's gonna be
Look,
nice.
there's Mrs. Briggs.
Oh, hey, look. Hey, Rose Briggs. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. You know, I
Hello.
think
Hi, Susie W.
Oh, and Susie Q's here, too. Hi, Susie.
Well, she's got Susie W. Not Q.
Well, yeah, I go by
I'm
old
sorry,
names.
but I just, I'm not used to that.
T-Bone, how are you, Anthony? Sorry,
T-Bone.
Susie. He is not used to that.
I'm not used to that W.
That's
Used to the
right.
Q.
Flash Bash is gonna be a blast.
Yes, again.
so.
Now,
Guys, I had something funny happen on Sunday. I was joining on a live stream. Snorkel Pirate. He's doing this Pirate Cove where he interviews people, and he had his first interview on Sunday. And I think a lot of people don't realize that Rose Briggs is a treasure vixen. And a lot of people click on it. I almost had to just come out and say it straight out, be like, hey, I am a treasure vixen, but they got it last minute. So Rose Briggs from the Treasure Vixens, guys. It's nice to meet you.
That's funny.
You can fly incognito now, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm not saying hi to Brian. He comes in with
No,
his numbers.
all the first thing he does is 29, 43, 56, waiting for a hike.
Oh,
Brian,
Macy's
Brian,
giving you a
Brian.
kiss there, Broc.
Oh, jeez. And yeah, here's my
Lucky
wife
dog.
walking upstairs. Lacey, you're getting me in trouble now.
So did you guys get any snow?
Yes.
Yes.
I got accumulation.
Oh, you did get accumulation?
I got accumulation.
Wowzers. We just
My green grass, my uncut green grass is now white grass.
yeah, it looks so pretty with the green background and the big white snowflakes falling everywhere. It was like being in a snow globe.
No.
Not pretty. Not pretty at all
No.
in April. middle of
Oh.
April.
It's not lasting. It's not sticking around.
It'll be gone tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
You guys keep that out there with you guys.
Yeah.
No,
We
we're
will.
sending it to PA as soon as possible. Just head east. Head east.
You guys keep it.
It's coming your way. We got no control. We're out of
And
control here, so
Busy Bee Detecting retired officially from the Navy last Saturday. Congratulations. Thanks
Yeah.
for your service, Busy Bee.
absolutely.
Paul Peck Drywall. How you doing, brother? Shaka bra. All righty. I think we got all of them.
Think so.
Let's pin Broc and put him on the spot,
Absolutely.
because that's what we do here at Flash in Your Pan Tuesday Night Hangout Live.
Hit me with them. What do you guys want to know?
Well, introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are. I'm sure most of the people in here know who you are or that. But
Well,
go ahead and introduce yourself. So
I'm Broc the Rock. I from a little town in central Pennsylvania. We got linked up with Jared with Adventures with Purpose and Sam the Adventure Man. And I enjoy scuba diving. That's my thing. I'm retired military, and as a replacement to, what I wanted to do is get underwater and get uncomfortable.
So, I asked you earlier if you did this while you were in the service. You said no, you were a boat driver.
Yep. Yeah. So when I first joined the military, I drove boats, and a lot of people don't realize that the Army does have boats. They have multiple things. They have tugboats and LSVs and LSUs, and I drove what was a Mike boat. It's a 65-foot flat bottom. Everybody see the movie Saving Private Ryan? Boats go onto the beach and the ramp falls down and people run off of it. That's a Mike boat. That's what I drove when I first joined the military. And then about two and a half years in, I got mandatory reclass to drive a truck. So I became what's known as
Those are exactly the same, right?
Yep. And went from driving boats to driving trucks. Went to Afghanistan in March of 2009 to March 2010. And while over there, my job was to go pick up blown up vehicles and bring them back and ship them back to the U.S. So that was that's what I did until I got medically retired from the Army then in 2012, 2013 time frame.
Yeah. What is going on with my speakers here?
So did you learn how to scuba dive in the military then?
Nope. I here's the crazy part. When I was I would say 3-4 years I was scared to death of water. And then fast forward many years, and I was sitting home. This was about 3.5 years ago now. I have two older girls. They live in Virginia Beach with their mother. And I get them for a summer, 6 weeks, and they go home. I was super depressed. Hit rock bottom again. I've been down there many times, and my current wife now, she was like, hey, I was watching all these river treasure hunting videos of like Jake from DLMID and jigging with Jordan Brandon and Yappy and all those guys. And I was watching, I'm like, man, that looks like a lot of fun, And I was super depressed. My wife was like, all right, what we're going to do, we're going to go get us a mask and snorkel set. She's like, just get in the river for a little bit. So it started off just snorkeling up and down the river, under bridges, just, And the same time that was going on, it came up with, that's when I linked up and started watching Jared's videos from Adventures with Purpose. And I was watching that and I'm like, if I had a scuba set, I could actually stay under the water rather than trying to hold my breath, go down, come back up, hold my breath, go down, you know. So luckily my parents lived in Florida at the time, and it was a couple months later. Went down to Florida to visit my parents. I thought, well, while I'm down here, I might as well get certified. Went and got certified. Got into it pretty heavy. Started the rivers, treasure hunting, you know, finding whatever I could find at the time. Not making any videos, just for me. And then one day I was like, hey, I'm gonna reach out. You know, Jared on his one video said, hey, you know, we're always gonna be around. You know, if you ever want to volunteer, shoot me an email. So I was like, well, I'll shoot him an email. And I said, hey, I'm retired military. I have pretty much any time available. Let me know if you're ever in, you know, the Pennsylvania surrounding states. I will gladly come and help, you know, and I will gladly do whatever you need, whether it's underwater, on the, you know, banks, whatever. He emailed back a couple days later. It's like, hey, we're coming to the East Coast. We'll be in Pennsylvania these dates. Let me know if you want to help. I respond back. I'm like, absolutely. I'll hit them all, you know, if that's what you want. Lo and behold, that was back in, that would have been October when they did their first road trip, met up with them. And then that's when we went down to, well, we hit a bunch. We hit New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So I found a Thunderbird. That's like the first car I actually dove on with them. And then we were supposed to go to Vermont. Vermont got canceled, and he was like, hey, we're going to North Carolina. You want to go? So I called my wife and, you know, went home and was like, hey, they want me to go. He's like, I need to know if you can go. All right. My wife was like, if you were going to go 7 hours north, what's the difference of going 7 hours south? She's like, go have a good time. So I drove to North Carolina, and that's when, you know, I helped with the Nicholas Allan case. And that was kind of my first, you know, missing person case with them. Then they were talking about doing another road trip. I came home and kind of just doing the diving around here, just play diving. I use my diving as my therapy for my PTSD. So for me, that's
like I use it for like painting and being on a creek.
You know, for me, there's many days where I just need to get in the water. I go down, I'll lay on the bottom of the river at 10, 12, 15 feet deep, and I'll just stack rocks and make rock statues.
oh, cool. I hope you take pictures of those.
So it's just one of the things, like, I'm like, I just need to get in the water. So, you know,
right.
You build rock statues, you know, I really enjoy it. To be honest, I love being around and watching fish and different things and what they do. And I mean, I've seen muskies that are 40 inches long, you know, it's,
wow.
You know, it's something to see, you know, and so that's kind of what got me into it. And then I met Jared and Sam, and honestly, I mean, I love them as, you know, they're my family. So
once you started doing that, you got with Jared and Sam, and you started doing this. Has it changed? Well, your life, your outlook, how you feel about things now? I mean,
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I can imagine being part of something that's really an important thing. I mean, you know, I imagine that puts a lot of it changes you a lot.
Oh, so like for me, it's I'll go out there and tell you, everybody. I've said it once, I said it a million times. I mean, I've hit rock bottom. I've tried killing myself. I have been, you know, would have been a statistic, shall we say. I was searching around, you know, and I actually told my wife, I'm like, what is my purpose? There's got to be more to life than this, you know, like, and then I link up with Jared, and it's just ironic that his YouTube channel is Adventures with Purpose. And now I found my purpose once again. You know, helping bring closure to a family is something that's there's a lot of emotions. There's, you know, you're happy, you're sad, you know, and you feel all of that. But it's such a, you know, a really good feel good for me to make me feel good that that's all I want to do now. I just want to help the next family and the next family and the next family. So, I mean, it gives you a way different perspective from being on that side where I've been, where people are that we're looking for. I've been there.
Right.
To be on the other side now, though, and seeing it's pretty, you know, I don't know the right term to use, but it's an amazing feeling.
Right. Yeah, and that is I mean, just being like we were talking earlier, being a service is a trip all in itself, you know. But when you have to go into conflict or like that, makes it worse. But yeah, and this thing, the 22 a day, it's real.
It's real.
You know, it's real. I mean, that's a real. I mean, this is a pandemic.
Yes.
That's a pandemic.
I personally have lost, out of my unit that I deployed with, we're up to, I want to say three or four to suicide alone. You know, there was 150 of us that went, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, we're talking, you know, it's
massive. It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and that's not even counting the ones that died there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, we lost one guy there. It was a freak accident, but we lost one there. And it messes with you,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Sure.
It's serious.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you use your diving, I use my being on the creek and pain as my therapy. Also, but I'm also a treasure hunter. I mean, I've always been a treasure, not only a hunter, but a hider. You know, as a young kid, I remember hiding stuff for somebody to find sometime in the future. You know, I'm gonna hide this thing here. Someone's gonna find this and go, what is this? Where'd this come from? Right? So, you know, looking for gold is just another avenue that I've taken. How about you? I mean, besides, I mean, now with you took diving for the therapy part, plus probably you wanted to do it. Then you got into the looking for missing persons, which, like my wife said earlier when we were talking, that's a treasure also. When you're able to bring closure for somebody's family, that's very precious, very important work you guys are doing. So, other than that, what other types of treasure hunting are you interested in? Have you done?
So I have found some stuff in the river, obviously, you know, old bottles that are pretty,
Right.
pretty, for me, I enjoy the old bottles, because some of them are actually made in my hometown, you know, that I
Cool.
never even knew. Old
Right.
Coke bottles, old Pepsi bottles.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, probably one of the coolest treasures I found was a driver's license. A guy lost his driver's license 9 years ago. And it actually was one of my brother's friends. And me and a buddy, we were, you know, snorkeling at this one area, just the river was low, so we didn't need much. And I found this driver license wedged down in this rock. I pulled it out, and I wiped it off, and you could see it plain as day. It said his address, his name, and everything. I'm like, oh man, like I know him as one of my brother's friends. So I jumped on Facebook and I reached out. I'm like, hey, it's probably pretty weird, but I found a driver's license of yours from like 9 years ago. And I was like, I just want to give it back to you. And he's like, no way. He's like, let's meet up. So I went and met him, and he was like, I remember when I lost it, I was, you know, on a tube floating down the river for the regatta. I forget what he went to do. He went to do something. He fell out of his tube, And then he had his wallet in his pocket and it fell out. And he's like, I remember it was right by, and I want to say I think it was right by like the golf course area. And about a quarter mile downriver is where I found it. Now you figure all the floods, everything, I found this piece of plastic just wedged in a rock that has been there for 9 years.
That's crazy.
I thought it was like one of them, like, wow,
Right.
what's the chances that it didn't keep going?
It's quite serendipitous, yeah.
Yeah. Was he happy you found it, or was just going, I don't know?
He was. He's like, I'm going to keep this. Like, he took it, he kept it. He's like, you know, just because
Right.
the funny story that was behind it, you know.
Right. That's funny. That's cool.
When you're
So, go ahead, Rose.
when you're down in the water and you know, even if you're just like you said building little rocks structures, how is the pollution, how is the garbage in that area? Is it as terrible as we all think it is?
So that is one thing we do. We take a lot of trash out, and most of the trash, though, I'll be honest, is we can get a good amount out. Nothing. I'm not filling pickup trucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could probably fill a small bag. You know, when we're out. Big
Yeah,
thing
every little bit counts, you know. It all counts.
Yeah, we take it all out. The big thing is, though, honestly, is a lot of fishing line and lures. Probably okay. So that was like the coolest treasure. The coolest thing I've ever had happen. I was under the river. I was diving, and when I find fishing line, I grab it naturally because the turtles can get stuck in it. It kills animals. So
Yeah.
I grab hold of this fishing line and I start pulling it, and next thing you know, the line starts moving. I'm like, what? So I start going faster. I get to the end and there's a small fish that swallowed a hook. Must have went around to the tree limb that I was pulling off of. And the fisherman had to cut his line or whatever.
Right.
I pop up out of the river now, and there's a lady going by in a kayak who's just looking at me like I'm this weirdo because I'm scuba diving in 10 feet of water. I was like, do you got like scissors or anything? She's like, what? And I'm like, I want to save this fish. And she's looking at me like, she's like, oh, my husband does on the boat. I'll go grab them. So she, paddled over to her husband and came back. And she's like, here you go. I'm like, I couldn't get it out. I mean, it was swallowed clear down. But I thought, at least I'm going to give him a chance. Cut the line and let this thing go. She goes, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I'm just trying to clean up, finding trash and everything. I said, this guy was stuck. And I mean, I went back down and he was there for a while because you could see his path from the fishing line cleared everything out. So it could only go back.
He's been there for a while, clearing the bottom.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the neatest things I've ever seen, other than, we see fish and that kind of stuff. But that was.
You mentioned a 40-inch muskie. Is that the largest fish you've seen underwater? Have you seen anything bigger? Any man-eaters?
No. I've seen. Well, I dove in Florida for a fun dive. I've seen moray eels. They're pretty wild looking, but I've seen. I want to say 3 or 4 muskies that are in that 36 to 42 inch mark. I mean,
nice.
Does it freak you out?
The first time I saw one, it did. Because it's actually the first time I ever even went snorkeling in the river. And I thought, well, I'm going to go along like the railroad track bridges, the piers under it. I'm like, I'm going to go around there because people always walk back and forth the railroad tracks. I'm like, maybe they drop something. I can find a phone, something. And I'll never forget, I was going upriver. I was just snorkeling, and I'm like, I thought I saw something, so I dove down. And as I start to come back up, I see this massive fish. And I was like, yep, I'll go this way. You can stay there. Like, I'll go around, I'll see you later type of thing. And come to find out, it was a 40-inch muskie because he was caught later on at that exact same place. And I thought that's what he was. But I was like, yeah, you go there and I'll go around. But now, to be honest, now I look for them. I try to touch them if I can get close enough because they don't really bother me now. But
well, don't let them think you're trying to do anything to because they do have some sharp teeth.
Oh yeah, they have some big ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they're aggressive towards you,
Nope.
but if you mess with them, like
They will.
anything else, so yeah, they're always good to look at from a distance.
Yeah. I've only ever been attacked by one fish, and that was a bass in the river. Apparently, when they're spawning and you go near their spawn bed, they don't like it.
They don't like no.
So
Carl's Ellsworth wants to know if you shared your pumpkin bread with your wife.
I sure did. She loved it.
Judy ate most of mine.
That stuff's addicting.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I hear there may be some at the bash too.
Maybe.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Carl and his family's going to be there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so's Rick from Wolfman Rants. Shoot. Deej, digging with Deej, but I don't know if you know her. Whole bunch of people.
I would love to be there, but as I told you guys, I'll fill everybody else in, is we officially closed on our house May 28th. We sold our house. Me and my wife, our 4 kids, the 2 big dogs, are loading up in our 5th wheel camper, and we are going to just travel. So we actually officially take off June 2nd, 3rd time frame. We're going to the beach, and we're going to spend 10 days at the beach down Ocean City, Maryland. And then from there, picking up my 2 older girls in Virginia Beach area. And then we're going to go. I know one of our first stops is going to be Shane with Project Clean River. I'm going to meet up with him in West Virginia.
Cool.
Hang out with him. And I think we're going to try to sneak a dive in because I am going to be taking my dive gear. And I think we're going to try to sneak a dive in there. And then from there, we're just going to go where? I don't know. Wherever the roads lead us.
That sounds exciting.
So you'll be living in your motorhome?
It's a camper, yeah, 5th wheel camper. Yep.
You'll be going from well, here. And I normally don't push it that much, but if you were to, let's say, join the GPAA, right, for like $100 a year, discount because you're a veteran, you would have lots of opportunities for camping places.
Oh yeah.
They're
Time.
free or low prices where you could stay for a week, 2 weeks at a time. Just a thought.
I might reach out to you about that.
I mean, it's a national organization. A lot of the claims have good goals.
They're very military friendly.
Very military friendly, absolutely. And it's an opportunity for you to possibly find places that you can hang out for a couple of weeks at a time, do a little prospecting, do whatever else you want to from there. Just,
Something to think about.
Yes, it is. Something to think about. Get online.
Yeah.
Type in, look at their, now, a lot of people don't like the GPA because they don't like the politics of it, and I get that. Some people don't like the money aspect of it, and I get that. But I look at it for $100 a year, under $100 a year, I can go to a ton of places and go camping for 2 weeks at a time. Very minimal cost. Sometimes it's free. Sometimes it's free. You're just paying for hookup, So just something to think about.
Yeah, that is. We actually just dropped our camper off today to get it outfitted with everything, so we can live in it full time. Getting a washer dryer put in, getting surge protector put in, getting a generator put in, getting a fuel cell put in. We want to be able to do campgrounds, but then also, I mean, there's places where you can just drive out in the middle of nowhere
Right.
off the side of the road, set up camp, and
And being a member of the GPA, there's quite a few places like that.
yeah.
So I was going to ask you a question. Alex Haynes wants to know what your plans are with your YouTube channel.
So this is where we're gonna go with this. I'm gonna keep my Broc the Rock dive channel. It's pretty much gonna be just for my diving. When I'm meeting up with Jared and Sam and stuff, and meet up with, like, I know Britt said about getting together Depths of History, down that way, linking up with him and getting with Nug, and I'm gonna do that. But actually, my wife and I think are gonna do one strictly for our full-time RV traveling.
I plan on it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do one that's just gonna be our traveling, come with us, come hang out with us type of thing. This is
Right.
where we're at. And then, if, for instance, let's just say we're in Florida and I go dive a spring with a couple friends of mine, or go spear fishing with them or something, my dive channel will have a clip of that. But we're kind of going to do the family one. So
Cool.
Awesome.
That's great.
Let me find it here. Tidewater Magnet Thrower said, if you want to do something while you're in Virginia Beach, let me know. Tidewater Magnet, is that magnet fishing? Could you introduce him to some magnets and let him, him and his family try magnet fishing?
I've tried magnet fishing one time, and that was with Sam and Jared in October when we were in Philadelphia. Sam did a live, and it was the first time I tried magnet fishing. And me and Sam had a little rolling bet who could find something first. And then he went.
Did you enjoy magnet fishing? Did you like it?
I did. I want to actually get magnets, and I know Jared starts selling them. I'm looking into them. I think that would be something. My wife doesn't like the idea of getting in the water and going under the water. She loves being in the water, but the whole going under, breathing underwater, for her, she just can't. She can't.
Not a cup of tea.
Well, now you can purchase magnets at adventureswithpurpose.com.
Yep. So that's actually what we're thinking about, getting a couple of them, and I think that would be fun for my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
And then they hook something really strong, I can just dive down and see what it is.
Yeah, that would be perfect. You guys could, it's amazing what you might be able to find doing that little duo together,
Yep.
Do you plan on getting one of those skiffs, those blow-up skiffs that Jared offers at adventureswithpurpose.com?
What's that?
The inflatable boats they use. So
actually, Jared, where were we? His 1 million subscribers, his 1 million subscriber video.
Well, we were in Nashville when he got 1 million subscribers.
No, Jared got 1 million subscribers when he was he was home.
And I think it was right before we saw him, I think he hit it.
No, it would have been right after.
Oh, right. Okay, right after.
It was right after. So we left Nashville.
Oh, you're right. He was really close to it in Nashville.
Yep, he was close to it. We left Nashville. Then, like 3 weeks later, I went to Texas, met him down there, and he was real close. We talked about these boats. I just heard about it. I said, well, mark me down. I'm going to buy one. So, we had it planned out. Then, not even 2 weeks later, I called him. I'm like, what boats do you have left? I want one. So I'm going to put my name on one. And he's like, I got this, this, and this. I said, I'll take the yellow and gray one. That'll be perfect. So he actually shipped it to me. And I said, hey, I'll pay you here in the next 2 weeks. He's like, yeah, no problem. He hit 1 million subscribers the day after he shipped me my boat. So he did that 1 million subscriber video, and he was going to retire the blue boat. And people were saying, what should we do with it? What should you do with it? You know? And they said, give it to an up and coming diver, or, you know, raffle it or something. And then people started saying, give it to Broc, give it to Broc, give it to Broc. So he was like, oh, I would, but Broc already got a boat. Not thinking, you know, and whatnot. And that's why at the end of his video, he actually said, I totally forgot, like, Broc didn't pay. So he actually gave me my own boat. It's actually packed up, going to go with us in the camper.
Cool.
So that I am going to try to work on some cases while we're traveling. You know, if I'm going through, and it's also that they're, you know, God forbid something happens and I'm, you know, within a 6-hour distance, he can call me and say, hey, look, this is going on. Can you get out there? I can get out there. I'll have my own boat. I'll have working on getting sonar. I'll have all my dive gear and can kind of assist that way. So yeah, I got a yellow and gray inflatable boat.
Do you have a sonar yet to go with that boat?
So I've been working with Team Waters, and
Great
right
people.
right now, Dennis and Tammy told me, they're like, due to COVID, everything is, you know, they can't get nothing. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear from them when they say, hey, go ahead and put the order in, we'll get it.
I have to wait 5 weeks for a printer.
Oh, you guys, I actually just talked to somebody whose daughter works at a pool company, and they're about to lay all their employees off because of a chlorine shortage. So there might not be chlorinated pools this summer.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I like swimming in the river.
It's a good thing we got rid of our pool. What a pain in the butt it was.
Too much work.
Well, that's why we got rid of it. When we came back from traveling, it'd be a lot of work getting it back up and clean and all that, and daily maintenance, and it's like a freaking kid or a pet. But you don't have to, well, you do have to feed it, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
And you water it, but you don't have to walk it. And so, but geez.
You do. I look at skimming your pool like walking it.
Well,
yeah,
no, I do laps while I was skimming it, you know.
Yeah, but it's
We had a catwalk all the way around, so I'd be out there. But I do miss it on those hot dog days when you just want to strip down to your woo and go plunge right in the pool.
Yeah, I was going to say, call me crazy, but I would love a kid or a pet that is a pool. Like, I'll spend the time on it. I'll do it.
Let me say hello to Patrick Moore. I mean, the guy is suffering. He can't even get a controller.
Oh my goodness.
Poor
Oh man. We see that tear in your eye, Patrick. And Willie says twice as hard if it's a saltwater pool.
Very much so. Very, very much so.
So, do you have any plans to travel here in the near future to do any filming with the Adventures with Purpose?
So I'm going to, I want to say we're linking up for Q4, which will be like the October time frame. But depending where my older girls want to go, if they say, hey, we want to go out west, I might try to link up with them and do a dive and get a video or something in while out there. It just kind of depends on, as much as I want to say this is just going to be me going diving, this is going to be a family thing also. Mm-hmm. So the diving is going to be a bonus. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
You know, but
so much you guys are going to be able to do when you're on the road, man. That's awesome.
That's what we look at. You know, what better way for, you know, my kids to learn about the Grand Canyon, then let's just go spend a week there. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what, Brock? My dad was a teacher, right? And every year, I don't know how my mom got the time. She must have banked a lot of time. But every summer until I was like 15, 16, we traveled 4 to 8 weeks all across the US. Before I was 16, I've seen all the lower 48. To this day at 59, those are some of my fondest memories of me, my family. I blame my dad for that wonderful gift of wanderlust and wonderlust he gave me and the love of history, antiques and treasure too, for that matter. But the kids, they'll learn so much about American history and our geography and so much just by traveling. I think it's an awesome idea. That's Judy and I's end game goal. We want to. I got the trailer, got my new truck. Um, Now it's like get rid of a ton of garbage I have in my hoarderness and downsize and skidoo. But I have a couple more years before I can retire. So
This was this. I've been talking about this for, I don't want to say, probably 2 years now. This is what I wanted to do. And my wife didn't really want to do it, and it was one of the things where you can't do it if you're both not 100%. You know.
oh yeah.
It won't work. So, when I came back from Nashville, she kind of started talking more about it. And the big thing is like I wish she was here to be able to say it. She says it better than I do, you know, but she said that, you know, I have my PTSD and my depression is it's horrendous. This was the best winter we've had in 5 years. I had the best winter. Winter's usually my worst time. And I had the best winter. I mean, I felt the best I felt in almost 13 years. You know, it's been pretty wild. And she said, you know, seeing you and how happy you are, she's like, there's no better time. Let's do it. And then with the housing market right now there was no better time to sell our house than when we did. You know, our house wasn't even on the market 12 days and we sold it. You know, it's
Great time to sell a house.
Yeah, it is a seller's market right now.
Yep.
Excellent, Brock. I can't wait for the launch of your new channel because I'll definitely be subscribing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, my wife is actually working pretty much at night. She's been working on. She's gonna kind of spearhead that one. She's coming up with the name of it, coming up with a logo for it, because we're actually gonna put the logo on the back of our camper, and we're actually gonna plug the YouTube channel so that it's a giant billboard.
Well,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
technically, my channel, on paper, technically, my channel bought the truck and the travel trailer. I'm going to use it for channel events and all of that. Mobile office, on the go, mobile live studio. I'll just have to invest in a good, powerful laptop at that time. I won't have the room for this in my travel trailer, that's for sure.
You know, the Treasure Vixens, both of our vehicles, we got our stickers plastered on the back of our car. We got them nice and big, and we definitely use it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we're even when we get when I purchase my next vehicle, it's going to be geared towards the Vixens, and I'm not even opposed to getting that sucker wrapped.
Oh, definitely do it. You need a nice beefy truck, you know.
We were thinking about a minivan, man.
a minivan, but you kind of hard to mount a crane to a minivan.
I don't know. I think we could get creative with it. I got some people in my life that would help me out.
I'm sure you do.
Bring it out of there, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we can make
slide
it
it out.
Yeah, yeah.
You could get like a Sprinter transit van.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely,
2,500
absolutely.
2,500 chassis under it, and
Yeah,
There you go.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
could
for
have
sure.
like a I-beam set up in the roof, and it slides out the back door. Could have a hoist. Ooh.
And it had room for storage, room for travel. So I think honestly, I may go down the alley of a van, and it could be a commercial van. It doesn't have to be a minivan. It could be something like a commercial, the white vans that kidnap kids. So
candy on the side.
Yeah, play ice cream music.
Creeper van.
I lived out by the river in
Hey,
my
a
van.
little ice cream truck.
yes, right. Something that we can pack a lot of stuff into, or then at times like we really, it was Chris Davis, the guy we filmed with the last few times, who set up his minivan to where he could just put these 12-foot poles in there. You just slide them right in there. It was so easy. Maybe we had to cut one or two of them to get them to fit, but there was a lot of room, and it was all enclosed, which I think is awesome. We'll see.
Do it.
I'll tell you.
Willie says, oh, sorry, Jesse.
Go ahead.
Willie says should convert an old school bus to this crane idea.
It would, yeah. We got to be like relatively fuel economic in mind. A school
Okay,
bus.
well, you start off with a little yellow bus.
Yeah, yes, a little one maybe.
A short bus.
You
Yeah.
put a small Holmes wrecker. It's the hoist the whole thing.
Yeah.
System, and you mount it in the back.
Yep.
On a slide, so you can bring it out, drop it over the bridge, pull it.
Yep.
You gotta pull that motorcycle out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then have a trailer behind just put it
Yeah,
right
yeah.
on the trailer.
That's right.
Get right on that, Rose.
Yeah, we got. Hopefully by Flash Bash.
Yeah.
But Broc, how old are your two oldest girls that you're picking up?
So I have 4 kids total. I have a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old, 10-year-old, almost 5-year-old, and those are all girls. And then I have a little boy who is 18 months.
Ah,
was gonna say-
congratulations.
Yeah, on your road trip, even just talking like how the girls want to go west, depending on what direction you choose, there could be some great gemstone and rock hunting and fossil hunting that you guys could do along the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All kinds of neat stuff. Could stop by, see the world's biggest yarn ball in the middle of BFE, Iowa or something.
Well, you know what?
So,
Here's a thought. Parts of Route 66 are still there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Still driving. And that's always been. I've driven that road when I was younger.
yeah.
With my parents, right? I remember that road, and parts of it's still there.
That's one of my bucket lists.
Definitely got to do that route
Yep.
as much as you can of it. I mean, the route is there, but the old from the the 50s and stuff, that there's parts of it still out there,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
really cool.
And then there's like the Lincoln Highway too. The first coast to coast highway.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. No,
Uh,
I actually remember being on that road when it was still under construction. I mean, 'cause
surprised you weren't on it when it was just a dirt road, you old
well, in
man.
the summertime, when my dad they shut the plant down for 2 weeks, we would go to Texas. Right? So we would take part of the Lincoln Highway, we got down, we'd hit part of 66 into Texas, and yeah, I remember that. That was fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
Seven kids packed in the back of a station wagon.
Yeah.
Go across country.
Yeah, my parents had a van. They fixed it up so we could camp in it and stuff. And
But I tell you what, your kids will get so much more out of that type of experience.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you guys are probably going to be homeschooling then, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, my two older
Well,
ones.
at least your wife.
Well, I'm going to be the gym teacher.
Okay. hey, gotta have one of them too, right? Gotta have a gym teacher.
So,
You take them out rock climbing or
yep.
diving, or get them interested in diving. I mean, and if you think about it, there's a lot of places out there that you can dive and look for treasure too.
Oh yeah.
Go to hit some of the swimming holes, and so yeah.
Yeah. So my two older ones, like I said, I get them 1 weekend a month, 6 weeks in the summer, every other holiday. So, like for instance, when I pick them up in June till mid-July, there, I have them 6 weeks straight. So that 6 weeks, we'll do whatever kind of they want to do.
Right.
But my almost 5-year-old, my wife is going to homeschool her, and I'm going to try to help.
Yeah. Okay.
But my wife is just way better at that stuff. So
you're probably better off helping by staying out of the way.
Pretty much. I'll make sure the camper's set up and the internet's set up.
There you go.
And she can do the rest.
Yeah. What was that? I missed that question. Something about a water drone?
Yeah, Willie asked, did you ever find the water drone?
The water drone. Water drone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe that was from somebody else.
Maybe.
Sam?
What about Sam? Sam. What about Sam?
What? I remember seeing something about lost a drone in the water on one of the videos. I don't think I watched it, but I saw the thumbnail for it.
I'm not sure what they're talking about on that one.
Yeah, me either. But I'm wondering if that was Jared.
The 5 fish that you got tangled under the dock.
That would have been that. I think that would have been with them, with Jared and Sam. I don't think I was there for that one. It got tangled up in Nashville in the one car, but they were able to get it out. Under the dock, that would have been, I think, Lake Cumberland. I think that's what he's talking about. I wasn't there for that. That was, I want to say that was their last trip. They went, I think they went out to Lake Cumberland before they went home. And I think that might be what they're talking about.
Okay. Any more questions in here? So you're not a I mean, you don't have like a bucket list thing that you would like to find treasure on, right?
No, not really. Like I said, this started off as the treasure hunting thing, but after getting with Jared and stuff, Jared and Sam, I personally have gone kind of more towards the missing person cases.
Well, that's a bigger treasure than any of them.
Right. Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, that is a treasure.
Yeah.
So you pretty much found your path is going to be to help find missing people.
Yep.
So I know that Jared gets a lot of help with the community. Is your community growing? Is your subscriptions going up?
It has, and I'm gonna be honest, it's partially my fault. I really don't put out a bunch of content, and the big thing is because, for instance, in Nashville, I was there. I helped find Bill. Me and Sam were the ones who dove on the car the first time we put our hands on. When we pulled the car out, I was right there with. I was the one who looked in the car. I don't want to put out a video for that. Jared's already putting out one. There's no reason to put out multiple videos of the same thing. Yeah, it would be my perspective, but that family's going through enough as it is. There's no
Right.
reason to put out multiple videos of the same thing. So me personally, I'll take that step back, and because to me it's not even about a video. To me it's just like, for instance, for Christy, it was only to give her answers.
Right.
If that makes
for you,
sense.
it's not about right. For you, it's not about the notoriety.
No,
Notoriety. No, I haven't seen that.
that word.
For the fame, it's more for the idea of helping someone find their treasure,
Yeah.
helping someone, put closing to something,
Yeah.
and that's a very important thing, and what an honorable thing to be part of. Great stuff, dude.
Well, I know us here at Flash in Your Pan are like 110% behind my friend Jared and Sam over at Adventures with Purpose and Sam's personal treasure even channel, even though he's working a lot now with Jared. I think it's awesome what he's doing and what he has set in motion.
Right, because because it's not just Jared anymore. It's not just
No, it's
other people doing
Broc
same
the
thing.
Rock, it's Exploring with
Right.
Nug, it's Depths of History, and oh yeah, a huge movement. Globally, you have Down Under Dan doing stuff now too. I know he bought a pair of Jared float bags, and
Yeah.
so Jared has product globally out there doing a great mission. Yes, Melissa, of course, and our buddy Jacob from Chaos Divers, another good guy right there.
Old Jacob, he's a good guy.
Oh yeah, he is.
In fact, part of my trip is getting up to dive with Jacob again at Mermet Springs.
Cool.
I was just on the phone with him last week about that.
Yeah, Jacob's a good guy. I really love the way his channel has evolved and the direction it's going. Heavy metal detective says, I love watching these guys. Those guys flash in your pan. AWP, Sam and Broc.
Oh, thank you.
And what we're saying is it's not just those guys. It's spread out even more than that.
Oh yeah, Brothers Underwater Recovery, Ronnie.
The side sonar people.
Oh, that's Dennis and Tammy.
Yes.
Team Waters.
Another group.
Those guys, those two, I absolutely love Dennis and Tammy. They are, it's unbelievable how much they have done. All volunteer,
Right. And right there, that's the biggest thing. It's all volunteer. You guys aren't getting paid. No one's, I know people are helping, but no one's getting paid. This is being done because, like you said, this is what you feel you need to do now. This is where your path is gone, and that's awesome. It's awesome when you can find your path.
Yeah, they've recovered over 100, brought home 100 people, 103, right?
I think. Don't quote me, but I think Bill made 104.
104 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, great people. They have huge hearts. They work all off of donations also.
Right. And this is over a short span of time, isn't it? Like a couple years, 2-3 years?
I don't quote me, 10.
10 years. Okay.
10 years.
Okay. Man, time's just slipping by my butt.
Yeah,
Phew.
I think it's been like 10 years that they've been doing this.
Yeah, they have. I believe it was. I believe they brought that up when Jacob helped with that body recovery on the Missouri River a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Hello, happy water girl.
But yeah, that's it's those guys. It's unbelievable. I mean, you're talking 103 families that they personally have
Wow,
affected.
that's awesome.
That's huge.
That is awesome, and that is huge. I mean, that's huge. I mean, and were most of these like cold cases? All of them cold cases?
I don't think they were all, because they were what I do know. Some of the things, like they would get a phone call for something, an accident that happened, something happened,
Right.
And, they would just take off and go help. But I know that a good portion of them are, like a cold case.
Right. That's cool. Let me say hi to a couple more people.
No worries.
Kimberly B, hello. Melissa Spry, hello. Benzo.
Yeah, Benzo, what's going on, man?
There it is.
And Diane Phoenix, how are you?
If anyone has, if anyone wants a help, this is Team Waters URL. They do a lot of great things. They donate time to Ventures with Purpose and others. Great couple doing a great mission, works solely off of donations. Please visit their website, and if you can't now, bookmark it. Donate later.
These people help out all these guys that you're watching. They're there to help them out. So any help that you want to give, that'd be a good group to give to.
Yeah, they're actually, so Dennis has some health issues going on, and they're actually trying to raise funds to get a UTV so that when they go, so Dennis built, I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but Dennis built this little boat. It's about this big, and he built it all himself. It has a built-in sonar and everything, and it's remote control. It weighs like 70 pounds. And with Dennis's health, he can't really carry it like he used to now. So they're actually trying to raise money to get like a UTV so that when they come in, all he has to do is put it in the bed of the UTV. They can drive back to wherever, get close to the pond, and then just put it in. They're actually trying to raise funds for that right now.
Yeah. It was just brought up in the room.
Yeah, they have a GoFundMe right now. This RC thing he built, it's unbelievable. I got to see it and stuff. It's a work of art. And he that's what he'll use in like ponds that we can't get a boat into his search. If he can get his boat in, he takes this little thing and it hooks right up to his sonar screen, and he can clear ponds out that you would never think anything's in there.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool. So yeah, and put the link in the chat rooms.
I'm also putting in their Facebook page also.
So if you had unlimited funds, no restrictions, total bucket list here, like, whatever you want, where would be some ideal places for you to dive?
Okay, now, are we doing this just for fun dive?
Yeah, but you can do both. It's the sky's the limit on this one.
I want to go to Australia and dive the Great Barrier Reef. I want to.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
That is, and I'll tell you, that is very high on my bucket list, and I want to do it because I don't know if you guys are aware and stuff, but the Great Barrier Reef is slowly dying.
Yeah, it's disappearing. It's yes.
So that is a major bucket list by far. But I would really like, if money was not an option, I would really like to get into some of the shipwreck diving and doing that.
Like around the Caribbean.
Yeah, do some shipwrecks.
Deep sea, like, deep sea diving.
I would. I would. I mean,
why not?
Yeah, it just gets dark. I mean,
and there's monsters in there, and no oxygen.
Well, I mean,
yeah, you are definitely out of your element.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, no, probably Great Barrier Reef definitely would be. I'll be honest, I got spoiled. I love the Florida Springs. I enjoyed, like, Devil's Den in Florida is one of the most beautiful places, and it's just an underground spring. So me, if I could just take a road trip and I would just hit every Florida spring I could possibly hit.
Do you have to worry about like man-eaters in those springs in Florida?
Not really. Like, gators aren't really going to go in them. And in the springs, the only thing you'd have to worry about is really getting lost in a cave system.
Yeah, that's also very scary. That is also a very terrifying thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I applaud you for doing it and wanting to do it, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Once you can get your mind past the fact that you're not supposed to normally be breathing underwater, it's tricking your mind. But once you get past it,
yeah, Jesse learned that his first time on a hookah dredge in Alabama. He didn't want to breathe. He kept holding his breath.
I had to keep literally out loud telling myself, breathe,
breathe, breathe,
breathe. I got a full face mask on, but I think it's the sound too. The sound is the sound of the air,
Yep.
All that bubbling, and then you're underwater and you're not supposed to be breathing.
But it's so neat.
Yeah, but once you get past that, yes, absolutely, you forget. I mean, I got down and I was dredging. I forgot all about it, and I was just busy. Not paying attention to my breathing anymore. I was doing fine. Before I knew it, I was out of gas. Time to come up. Awesome.
Have you had any scare moments, any terrifying moments where something went wrong when you weren't expecting it? Have you been put under pressure yet?
I have. The Philadelphia dive, when I was with Sam and Jared, the first time I was with them, we went to the Delaware River. We were at a Walmart parking lot, and there was a bunch of docks. And Jared went out and we were actually trying to find, there was a missing couple. It was, oh gosh, Danielle Imbo, and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but we're trying to find her. And the Delaware River, he said it was, I want to make sure I get this right. He said that there was an object looked like a van at 30, I think it was like 36 feet. So in my mind, I get in the water. I'm going down to 36 feet. I get in the water, start going down, going down. Now, once you get so far down, the water's dirty. Once you get so far down, the light can't come through, so it gets dark. So I'm going down, then all of a sudden the light switch goes off. It's pitch black.
Oh, no.
Turned on my flashlight. I'm looking at my my computer and I'm monitoring, you know, I'm going down. I'm like, all right, I'm at 34 feet. I should hit the bottom any moment. Well, I keep going. I'm reading, it's like 43 feet. Okay, keep going. Well, it's like 47 feet. I'm like, at this point, when am I going to hit the bottom? I got to be almost there, right? Keep going. It's like 52 feet. I'm like, all right, I'm out. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know where I'm at. Well, I started to panic a little. Which way's up? It's black. You can't tell which way's up. I know the current's moving me because I can feel it. So you start, you know, you're shining your flashlight trying to follow your bubbles because they're going up. So I started to panic just a little bit because where am I? And I had to take that couple seconds. All right, put a little air in my BC. That'll start to bring you up. Look at the computer. Okay, I'm coming up. And then, okay, just start kicking then at that point because you know you're already heading up. And then you watch your computer and, you know, you're sitting there, you're going, I guess you're watching your computer, and then you pop up. And but I was like, when I popped up, I was 100 yards downriver and like 70 yards in the channel.
That's so crazy.
That's how fast the current was going. And this was in the total span of about 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
It was, so I swam over. Sam, I pop up and there's Sam right down beside me. So I go over to Sam and I'm like, you know, I kick over to him, I'm like, current's pretty bad. He's like, yeah, it is. I was like, yeah, I think I'm done diving here. You know? And then Jared comes up. He's like, yeah, I did find an old boat. He's like, did you find it? I'm like, no, I ended up down there. Sam couldn't find it. And he comes up later on that evening, we were talking. He's like, yeah, he's like, underneath those docks, it's completely like you can come up underneath it. I was like, well, that's a fine. Could you imagine I came up not knowing where it was, then come up and I'm underneath a dock somewhere?
Well,
So me,
yeah, I think
not a good.
It's probably a good idea to know how fast the current's going before you go it up.
I mean, you look at it, you can see it. Yeah, it's moving, but I would have never thought I would have got blown off that quick.
Wow.
So that was my only ever knock on wood, my scare.
We had it right the first time.
That's probably been the worst.
It sounds pretty terrible. It does sound like it's the worst.
Yeah, panic is like the worst thing that can happen.
Yep. You just got to remember, like, you just got to take that step back and kind of catch your breath. You know, there's no reason to panic.
Right.
You just got to, you know, think about it. You know, your bubbles are always going to go up. Big things just try to find where they're at. But when the current was moving as quick as it was, as fast as I was blowing them out, I couldn't. It was so dark, I couldn't even see where
you couldn't see where they were going.
Yeah.
So
Ringo and Czar says huge thank you, Broc, and your family for spending and allowing the extra days in Nashville. Much respect.
Oh, thank you. And that was my wife. I called her and I said, hey, this was going on, and she says stay. You know, you're doing that. You stay the whole way through. So,
well, thank you, Broc's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, you know, she is a huge supporter of it. You know, and for her to be able to say, hey, I got the kids, you go. I mean, to me, that is a huge, huge thank you to her. So.
Willie wants to know what's the deepest you ever dove. Dived? Dove.
90 feet.
Nice.
Was that in freshwater, saltwater?
Saltwater. That was off of West Palm Beach in Florida doing a drift dive.
I love West Palm Beach.
Now, I am getting ready, though, to link up with Jacob at Chaos, and I'm going to Mermet, and I'm going to get my advanced, also known as deep dive, so I can go to I'm going to go to 130 with them. So
wow.
So everybody needs to say goodnight to Lacey. Lacey.
Night, Lacey.
And hello to the dudes. The dudes are
Turn on my mic. Hi, Lacey. Bye, Lacey. Good night, Lacey. Sorry, my mic was muted. But before I forget about it, hi, Audra Rage. Before I forget about it, Jackie down at the Little Speedway's listening while she's working. Thank you for tuning in.
hey, Jackie.
I don't know. I know she wears Jackie on her name tag, but she's also a Flash Fam member. Jocelyn, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Yes, this orientation in the water is scary, Chrissy.
Yeah. So actually, one of the things I'm trying to do is I am going to try to link up with, when I was in Nashville, we had the Dad's Towing Service who was there, who was a huge help.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah, well, I became kind of pretty close friends with Zeke. He was the one operating the rotator. And he told me, you ever get back down here, he's like, I will get you to go with us and do some training. And I'm going to try to get in touch with them to do this. They do blackout training. So you wear a mask that's been spray painted black. So obviously you can't see through it.
Oh, no.
And then they put you into this tank that is nothing but ropes. And basically, it's to get you tangled up, to get you not to freak out underwater, and it's to teach you how to get out of them properly. Because I will say that is my biggest fear, because all it takes is a 5-pound fishing line and drown you when you're a scuba.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, I
It
imagine.
doesn't take much.
and
I
it
imagine-
kills.
Right. I imagine that being down there too, like where you were at in Nashville with all those cars down there. I mean, the problems that you can run into. So panic would have really been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dangerous
especially
in a
wearing
situation like that.
dry suits. Who ripped their dry suit? Didn't you rip? Or
Jared ripped his, and I ripped it, and I thought it was leaking, but it's just the outer layer. Like it's just I got really lucky, but I just bought that dry suit. I mean, it came in a week before I went to Nashville.
Yes.
But Jared ended up ripping his. I want to say, I think I cut mine. I think somebody else had, you got to remember, I ripped my gloves because we're dealing with these cars, and I mean, they're rusted. They're
Right.
They're pretty bad shape.
Yeah, some were in really bad shape.
But
So I got Melissa Spry has a comment for you. She says, "Can you ask Broc if he can stop by Indiana on his way out to Jacobs? Please, would love to meet him."
I'm sure we can figure something out.
You've actually
then,
had I'm sorry, Jess. You've had quite a few of those. Ellsworth Carl said if you're up in the Pennsylvania area.
Pittsburgh,
you've
yeah.
had quite a few people just say, hey, so
Right.
maybe, I don't know, announce where you're headed, because I think you would be welcomed all the way around.
We're going to I do want to give people a heads up, like it's not going to be this top secret where we're going to be type of thing. We are going to I'm trying to learn. I downloaded this app, and it's supposedly you'll be able to kind of follow us. So I can click, share, and it'll be able to tell you where I'm at, and then I can post where I'm going to go. But I haven't really figured it out yet. This is new to us too, this whole travel and figure it out. So,
Right.
But I do want to, I'll meet anybody anywhere,
Yeah. I love this name, Project Lee River. Hello.
Yeah, that's a friend of Broc's.
That's
Yeah,
Shane.
I figured
Shane was
that.
in Nashville with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool name.
that name does ring a bell. So many, though. I've
Yeah.
met so many people there. I just wish I would have had more time.
Yeah, so Die for Good was there. That's Bryson.
Right.
She's here.
Yep. Project Clean River was Shane. Shane was there for the first 2 or 3 days, and then he had to go. But Shane was the one. I don't know if you guys saw. I want to say I think it was Depths of History, Britt, when he did pulling out a Ford Focus. That was my first car I've ever hooked up to. My first car I ever pulled, and me and Shane were the ones who were doing that.
Okay.
I tell you what, dude. I tell you what, that was a crazy day because I was at home and I watched all the lives that were on. I was watching
There were a lot of lives going.
2 or 3 at the same time. You know, it was just crazy. And I think it had to do more with the idea that you guys were looking for somebody, and you come up and you found all these cars, and it was just amazing to me, you know. And the possibility that you may find somebody that's been missing for a while in that jumble of cars. I'm going, first of all, why are there so many cars there, right? Is that like a dump? Is that where everybody takes their stolen cars and dumps them off?
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. It even looked like there might have been some insurance shenanigans going on there too.
Very good possibility. I mean, there was cars just everywhere. Like that first day there, that when we went there to pull cars the first day, Jared said, "Hey, Broc and Shane, go ahead and get in. You guys are getting in." All right. So we go down. He's like, "You're going to go this area." And I went down, and it was only like 20 feet deep. Got down, started looking around, and it's like car. So we start working our way upriver to go back, and it's like car. Oh, got to swim over this car. Oh, here's another car. Oh, this car. And I'll never forget, I was swimming along, looking. I'm like, car. I'm not really looking up. I'm just looking to this left and right. And I hit something, and I look, and it's a car door of a car on top of another car. It's just,
Oh, geez.
it was wild.
Cars on top of cars on top of cars. Bryson says.
Yeah, Project Clean River said underwater parking lot.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's exactly what it was.
A lot of stolen cars and insurance fraud off that ramp, huh?
How was the visibility down there? I mean, was it really muddy and dirty, or?
It actually was. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'm gonna say 3-4 feet. I mean, it was good.
So you were able to see the vehicles in the water.
Yeah, until we started pulling. Once we started pulling, then it gets all clouded up. But
right,
it wasn't bad. When I went to Texas, that water, Jared did the video on that. It was part 2. I want to say Gonzalez, I think was her name. Don't quote me. We were looking for her. That river was chocolate milk. I mean, literally.
Kind of like the Maumee River.
I literally couldn't even see my computer. Like I was trying to look at it, couldn't even see it. Literally everything. I ended up closing my eyes and just feeling everything because there's no point having my eyes open.
Right. Yardman Ron says, used to be a ferry there. I don't know if they fell off or what. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well, here.
So used to be a ferry that ran back and forth across it.
Okay, let me ask, what was the oldest car you found?
The rustiest one that fell apart in pieces.
Well, no, because not necessarily, Ed, because older cars were made of thicker material, thicker metal.
True.
It's like the difference between an old penny and a new penny.
There wasn't no Model A's or Model T's or big Studebakers down there, or nothing like that. At least what I saw.
Right.
No, I don't want to quote a year. I'm gonna say 80s kind of was probably like the oldest.
Oh, okay.
See, everyone agrees with me. It's the half car.
It was a Volkswagen Bug frame.
Yeah.
That's all we pulled out was just a frame.
Die for Good said, "Wonder what year the Thunderbird was."
Mm.
You could almost look at that.
That was pulled. That Thunderbird was pulled from that other lake.
Yeah, didn't Britt and Nug pull that?
Yeah, Britt and Nug pulled that. Britt and Nug pulled that the day that I pulled the Ford Focus out.
Yeah, that was the rental car, stolen rental car you pulled out.
Yeah, so it was a Ford Focus, and from what we found out, supposedly it was a family that parked at the boat launch, and the mother got out or something, and one of the kids was getting out and hit the gear shift into neutral, supposedly, and it floated into the river. That's the story we were told.
That's their story, and they're keeping to it.
So.
Happy Water Girl said that Jeep was probably older than the 80s. I did like that Jeep. That was a pretty cool find.
That Jeep was. I don't think that was older than it. That wasn't older than the 80s.
I found a penny in that Jeep. I think I was talking to you, Brock, when I found it. Oh no, it was Nug. I was talking to Nug when I found it.
That was. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy. That day, pulling all them cars out. That was just. I ain't gonna lie either. I was so tired because you pull that winch cable all the way out and then hook it and then drag it back out.
Who did all the rigging on the vehicles?
We all kind of took turns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's not an easy thing to do. That can be some very dangerous things.
Yeah. So we all kind of took turns. The first day, me and Shane were in the water, kind of the most. We would get out and give it up for other people to get in, and nobody would really go get in. So we go back out, and I think we hooked. Shane will say, I think we hooked 3 cars that day, me and Shane. And I mean, we were just hooking to whatever we could get a chain around at that point.
Right.
You know.
Well, you know, if you're gonna go back to dads, and get some training, have them train you on some rigging too, because that may help you out in the long run.
It was actually kind of neat. He actually caught me onto something. We were using a chain about that big. I want to say it was like 3/4 chain. I mean, it was pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Broc, take this chain and go down. And this thing was tiny. I mean, the tiniest chain. I'm like, Zeke, I don't think. He's like, that chain is rated stronger than that big chain you're using. And man, he had zip ties hooked onto this thing, a real long zip tie that you could just fish it through and then pull it through. And
wow.
I mean, he taught me all these little tricks just from the 3 days I was with him.
Right. Oh yeah, pay attention to that dude.
I did. And it was smart. It was stuff like he hooked this big zip tie. Well, all you gotta do is fish the zip tie up through, rather than trying to fish a whole chain up through. You can just take that and then grab and pull through. But that's what dads does. You know, when they're down there, they don't only do, auto accidents. If a tugboat goes down, they go and they recover the tugboat, a barge.
So they do a lot more than water.
Oh yeah. They do hookah setups to go down and get tugboats, get barges. If a plane crashes in the river, they're the ones to go and get it. So when it came to rigging, he was actually teaching me some things.
Awesome.
It's
not that easy, and it's a pretty dangerous situation if you don't have something rigged up right for hauling out like that.
I don't know if you guys saw that live when Jared went live, pulling out that Ford Focus, and he came up and he's like, "This is your first car," and he's all excited. He's like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "I feel like I could throw up." Like, I was being honest. Like, did I hook it up right? I don't want, this is a live stream and people are watching, and I don't want it to come halfway out of the water and then the rigging come off because I didn't hook it right. All of these things. I mean, I felt like I was going to throw up.
Yeah, I remember the first time having to rig up to pull something out of a deep spot. It was scary.
Yeah,
it was very scary because it's
came
not
back first pull.
right. I'm not so worried about, like, I wasn't so worried about the vehicle itself, but if it does that, all that tension on that cable is gonna go somewhere and it's gonna fling that. And I've never seen it, but I've heard of guys getting the bodies cut in half from that cable slinging back. And you're talking about heavy duty cable, so that scary stuff.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I did learn a little bit of rigging when I was in Nam. We had to rig up stuff, all the way. But yeah, no fun. No, it's fun, but it's scary.
Yeah. That was a fun time though. That was a crazy week. That was crazy. 12 days? There was a lot done in a short amount of time.
The way that the community came together for that, the way that the channels came together for that, it was a spectacular event. It's something to be remembered for sure. Everybody working with everybody and everybody trying to uplift everybody and just support everybody. It was an incredible experience.
And for a great cause.
It really goes down to Karen and Tara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those two. If it wasn't for those two, I can't get over it. They orchestrated a majority of that. They had the majority of that all set up for us. It was amazing. I mean, we had meals being provided. They had the fire company lined up to help with making sure our tanks were getting filled. I mean,
Dad's towing and the Grand Ole Opry for all the divers, free rooms.
That was amazing. I actually was trying to figure out where I was going to sleep. Jared's like, "Hey, can you go for the week?" I'm like, "I'm in." So, I'm talking to my wife, like, "I'm going to drag the camper there. Let's find a campground," And a couple weeks before that, Jared calls me and he's like, "Hey," he said, "room's taken care of. You got a room, you want to bunk up with Sam?" "Sure, I'll stay with Sam." I love the guy to death. My stomach hurt from us laughing all the time.
Sam's such a great guy.
They orchestrated all of that.
Heavy Metal Detective said even the mayor showed up to kiss babies.
The mayor showed up at the meet and greet.
Yeah.
All the cars lined up.
Yep.
Meet all you heroes.
That was that's going to go down in history books in my eyes.
Did you notice though? I was up at my stepson's house though, and every news station that talked about it like doubled or tripled the amount of cars being pulled out.
Yeah.
Like they needed to do that. I mean, the amount of cars you guys pulled out was why you didn't need to
Crazy.
Didn't the mayor even quote like it was like 40 cars we pulled out? There.
Yeah, 17 and a half. Poof, magically. 40 cars pulled out of the Cumberland River by. I just like, what?
So, you guys got all those vehicles out of there. Like, you have to ask yourself, well, why hasn't anybody done that before? Why hasn't the city or anybody come and pulled those out?
The city's resources, financial resources.
I mean,
It's the money.
So, the money. So what
do you think it actually cost? What do you think the cost was? And I'm sure Dan probably talked to you guys about how much it cost him to run his equipment. And I have an idea, but what were some of the figures you guys heard that would cost to bring them out?
I actually talked with the owner of Dad's Towing. When I was with Zeke, we were talking. That rotator is, I want to say,
oh my God,
it was $400 an hour the minute it left.
Yep.
To pull those cars out, it would have been about a $25,000 estimate that they volunteered for us. I mean,
well, another guy I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple times now also is Doug Bishop, who works for Elite Towing. Great guy out of Portland, Oregon. Great guy. And he did a real good job explaining the cost that Dad's Towing had involved in that.
oh yeah. Yeah, it was they asked it, Zeke told me it would have been right around that $25,000 mark to come out and do what they did. I mean, we did it free of charge. You know, that would have been just the record bill. You know,
Right.
You know, I wouldn't even want to imagine, and that's why it's cost so much to get them out. Why would they do it? Even though they need to be out, even though it's
environmentally, they need to be out of there.
Oh, yeah.
If for only that reason.
so, I mean, but to say we got them out, that's, you know, and we did that in 2 days.
Yeah, I can't. You guys it was non-stop. You know, you talked about how exhausted you were. It was hard to just watch it. We felt like we were in the way. Like we felt we were, you know, like making people more tired just by being around the situation. Like you guys just kept pulling car after car. You were doing it after dark. You did it after dark, and you kept pulling them out. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it was a definite, like, when I got back to the hotel, I was ready for bed.
Yeah.
I was beat, you know, but I would go right back tonight to do it again. I wouldn't even think.
Yeah, yard man. Yeah, the live feed was awesome that day.
Which one? There's like 14 of them.
All of them. To me, it was all one live feed.
Yeah.
You know, because Jared would have it for a while, and he'd hand it off, and then Sam would take over with the live feed, and then just all day. It was awesome.
Everybody's like, hop on over to this one. Everybody head on over to this one. I mean, they shared the love all day long.
Oh yeah, it was a great experience just to be a minute part.
Yeah.
It was.
Just a witness.
I feel the same way. You know, I was just this little guy there, but you know, it was amazing.
There's so many great people it was. I watched every single day. I was laid off work, Yardman Ron said. And yeah, Kevin, his little updates and stuff.
The no-mock experience.
Yeah.
Kevin's a good guy. Can't wait to take him prospecting.
He's a good.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Squatch.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. You know, the meet and greet was even neat. You know, the drive-through meet and greet. I bet you I saw people taking 3 and 4 trips in.
Yeah, yes, there were
Really?
people. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because I felt crazy until you said that.
Like there's times like, you know, and the one guy, he even said, he's like, all right, I'll be back. I'm going to get, he was like, I'm going to get my wife and kids. And then I'm going to get my in-laws. I'll be back, it was neat.
It was so cold there that weekend too. And it was like, man, it's cold. Next thing you know, a carload of gloves come. Or I'll give a shirt to anyone who brings some gloves, and bam.
Done.
There was what was it? Chelsea, right? Chelsea. And what was the other girl's name? They were cooking us food.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They made like jalapeno poppers and chicken, and I mean it was amazing,
Yeah.
That was
to witness the support for what you guys do. So you guys brought it, there was this amazing dive and this all these cars coming out of the water, cleaning up the water. And then a genuine fan base got to come and support the whole thing. And they came with drones. I mean, they showed up, and like you said, they came around 2 or 3 times in a row, man. That was incredible.
I forget what the count was, but there was, I think Karen kept track, and don't quote me, but I think there was like 400 cars went through.
Yep.
That's
substantial. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
And it was during the panoramic where everybody had to stay in their cars, so some people were getting upset that they had to be turned away, but they still drove through anyways. Yep. It was through all, it was just an incredible event. It
really was an amazing event altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys should just do it again, okay?
I'll get a hold of Jared. We'll work something out.
Right. If anybody knows of any dump yards in the river or anything like that, you need to share that information.
Yeah.
That's a good question there. Are you guys, let's say someone calls you up and say, hey man, I was out fishing and I dropped this. I lost that. Is that something you would go out for? I don't think you would make I don't think you're going to make a special 2,000-mile trip for a Seiko watch.
Yeah. Or a wedding ring. It might be important.
Well, maybe a wedding ring, sure.
Yeah.
Depending. I would to a point,
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to go to, Texas for a wedding ring when there's other people that are closer that could do it,
Right.
But if it's someplace, within reason, I would go out and give a whirl. I'll go out and try.
Sure.
I'm not going to say I'm going to go drive 12 hours, but if it's a 2-3 hour trip one way, I would consider it.
Yeah. Die for Good says he does that in his hometown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would do it in my hometown, but I to drive.
What if this was, your full-time job, your career? Would you travel more given the opportunity?
I would, definitely. But you also got to have that balance too. Jared talks about it a lot. You really do got to have a balance. I couldn't go do this weeks and weeks and weeks and come home for a couple of weeks and then go do it again, because it's not fair to my family.
Yeah.
My family's going to go along with us and stuff. And when I'm going to do some dives, my family's not even going to stay there. My wife already said, she's like, hey, like when you're linking up with Jared, and she's like, I'm going to take the kids and go find a museum.
Mm-hmm.
You go dive type of thing, and she's very supportive of it. But to sit there and say that I would be, I don't know if that could be a full-time gig traveling and diving. That would be pretty.
Yeah.
It would be the life. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Your full-time gig there would be just traveling with some diving thrown to the side.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going with. I'm going to go travel with my family, and I'm going to do some diving on the side.
Yep.
Let me answer this question here so everybody gets it in.
Sure.
Melissa Spry wanted to know when we were doing another Veterans Prospecting.
I posted a link.
But just so everybody knows, if you want us to take you, if you're a veteran or you know a veteran, and you want to learn about prospecting, you want us to take you out and show you, all you got to do is call, or not call, but email Ed, and we'll hook you up with me, and we'll make arrangements, and we'll figure out a time and date when we can get together and take you out on the creek and teach you how to pan and prospect and look for gold. You know, it's just a fun time for veterans. I feel that it will help them out. I know it helps me out. So just email Ed at flashingyourpan@gmail.com.
Yeah. Under services, look for the Take a Vet Prospecting Project tab and go to that. There's a little message you could fill out, send it off, and we'll get a hold of you pretty quick. And I'll have to say, if anyone knows of a missing person, most apt to be in a vehicle in a river, lake, quarry, or whatever, and you want to pass that information on to Adventures with Purpose or some of these other great divers, like Dive for Good or Muddy Bottom Adventures or Broc the Rock or Sam and Jared, you know. Jared and his crew reply very quickly.
Very quickly.
From emails and messages on Facebook. Very prompt.
There is one thing. I did have this issue. If anybody was to message me on Facebook, if I'm not friends with you, I don't always go in and check to see if I have new, messages sent. Try to shoot me a friend request, and do it that way. Like I said, I had a guy reach out to me from Syracuse, New York. He ended up reaching out to Jared and saying, "Hey, I messaged him, and I never even got it because it was since we're not friends, I didn't,
Right.
I don't go in." So I made it a point now I go in and I periodically will check to make sure if I got any email, any messages from guys that, or people I'm not friends with. So.
Makes sense.
Yep. Let's wish our buddy Luke Duke Outdoors a happy birthday. 420 time.
It was, his birthday was yesterday, and he had to work. He had to work during his birthday. Sorry,
Yep.
Luke.
Well, a happy belated birthday, Luke.
I went through my birthday last week.
And it was Dano's too.
Dang, happy belated birthday, Dano.
Well, I'm tax baby.
Scuba Sonia, better late than never. We're into
Hey, Scuba
overtime. It's good to see you. Let me see. What was that? The comment. Where'd it go?
It is.
Brian, not tonight. Next week, though. Next Tuesday night is Open Line Tuesday, where we turn whatever sucker calls in our guest. So
Don't say it like that. They won't call in, Ed. Our most favorite people.
I mean, whichever person calls in will have the show.
Oh, that's cool, Melissa. Those are cool art projects. Those diamond paintings.
Oh,
The Diamond Arts, yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
These are awesome.
Oh, on a sort of related note, my husband and I just saw Lego has portraits now. You can do like diamond art, but with little tiny Legos, and they have Beatles, guys. It's gonna have to go on that wall. But it's Lego prices, though. Legos are expensive. They're so expensive, yeah.
Ooh, see that, Ed?
Medic Squatch.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
It's
the
a
super
Flash in your
chat.
pan. Thank you for putting together these great lives and having so many fantastic people on. Keep up. Keep it amazing, brother man.
Yeah, the magnetic squatch. Yeah, the magnetic squatch has been doing some lives on Friday night, and
Oh, really?
yeah, where he gets some call-ins going on as well. And last Friday was buck wild. I think maybe had 5 or 6 people on at once. It was just so crazy, and they were all talking about magnet fishing and just. I mean, it was a really great time. So if you guys haven't checked out the magnetic squatch, you know, on top of his magnet fishing videos, he does lives on Friday nights. I don't know if they're all the time, but they're a hoot. So check them out, guys.
Absolutely. Why don't you throw his link in there, Russ?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I know how to.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I have a wrench. There we go. It's okay. Oh, link shared. I think I did it. Right. Yeah. Okay, I did it. Took me a while
I
to learn
see
that.
2 links there. Nice.
You got it. Oh, so yeah, that's. I want to know some things about you, Rose. You said you do gems.
Gemstones, yeah, it's a personal addiction and now hobby that has been honestly growing in me since I really met up with the Flash in Your Pan crew. I mean, it was always there. It's just as I met these guys and I learned about gold panning, and then you know Dana would talk about some gemstones, and then I learned you can also find gemstones in the river, and it just became the spiral of collection. And then for my birthday, my husband got me a gemstone tumbler, and yeah, it's just been a hobby, and it's a growing hobby that I really love doing. And that's why I brought it when you talked about your girls. Like, I mean, anybody can do it, for sure, girl or guy. I think, you know, if I had discovered this at 16, I would have been in love with it. And even 15 and 14, I would have just had a blast with it. So
I'll have to figure this out. I think it might
Well,
be something.
it's treasure hunting. All kids like treasure hunting. You know,
Yeah,
some of us grow out of it.
and finding what you personally find beautiful, so you can take your daughters out and they can go look and they can find what's beautiful to them and let it be their treasures. So it's why I brought it up.
You know, Brock, if you think about it this way too, what a cool way to teach history too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I brought up the fossil hunting. And the area you're at right now, like as you guys head towards the west, like if you dip south into the Carolinas and like into Tennessee, like there are some spots that you could be hitting up, you know, and there's you know, the Croissant mine that Ed talks about a lot in Thermal City, where not only could you look for gemstones, but you guys could have a gold panning experience as a family. They set it up for you to where you,
Oh yeah.
you know, you can. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is something that is something I do want to do.
Yep.
I have done a little bit of research on that. I would be down for that. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, the Crater of Diamonds, which is that in Georgia?
That's in Missouri.
Arkansas, yes. Yeah, the crater. You guys can go look for diamonds. I'm just thinking about family experiences and that you guys can all go together and all treasure hunt together. Those are a few things. And of course, any sort of fossil hunting or finding megalodon teeth is just so exciting.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was a kid, my friend's dad was big into arrowhead hunting.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And I did that for quite a while. That is, I mean, it would be wild. We'd just be walking through this old farm field, and you're just looking down, and then also like, look at this. And I mean, it's a perfect giant original arrowhead. I mean, I can see where that would be something I could get into, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you,
You feel it. You get that first treasure call, and then it just spreads out, man. It just goes
Right.
out.
Check out Luke Duke's YouTube channel. He's into arrowhead hunting and napping.
Flint
You can learn a
napping.
lot from what he does. And Luke Duke Outdoors.
Yeah, so I just saw this too. Melissa Spry said one of the reasons why I'm asking if we can meet Broc is because my husband is a vet and started diving classes and failed one time and is now giving up on it. And maybe you could talk him into continuing that.
Oh, absolutely. Tell her, or Melissa, just go ahead. I was like, oh, tell her, but I guess I could tell her.
Yeah.
Melissa, reach out to me on Facebook.
And send a friend request first. Sorry.
Yeah, send a friend request, and then shoot me a message, and we can make that happen. Definitely.
awesome.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And great news, Carl. Great news about Sarah and Lacey. Because we want to see them at Flash Bash. Meet ya all. And Nikki, our Down Under gal, our Down Under gold digger, is in the house.
Okay.
Can I
Chris,
ask, please?
go ahead, Ed.
Well, me minor. That everyone say a prayer for me minor just came across my Facebook newsfeed that he has been hurt and is being airlifted to Toronto Hospital. Ooh, he just had a heart attack not long ago too. I thought, and surgery.
Melissa says she can't find you on Facebook.
Yeah. What's your Facebook handle?
Broc Seiler, Seiler.
I'm going to try to find it so I can get a link for you guys.
BROC.
I have it right here.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, shoot me a message. We can definitely, if he failed anything, that you can retake them. That's I don't think that's a good reason to give up on it, because there's such a therapeutic from it. You don't even gotta search. In fact, I use it for other things also. Like I work on swimming pools. When it's cold and people need something done to their swimming pool, I'll dive down, I'll fix a pool, I'll look for a leak, do that kind of stuff.
Hello, Nikki. Long time no see.
Nikki
Well,
Prospecting.
Well, she was out finding that gold down
I know.
under. Found lots of it in relics.
But don't send me a message now because my phone's dead, so I won't.
Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing, outdoor influencers? Better late than never, our friend. Well, we're 15 minutes almost into overtime.
We are.
Yeah, wow, time flies when you're having
Having
fun.
fun.
Oh, actually, 4 minutes, technically. I forget about the 10-minute timer thing. I start 10 minutes before the show. So we're 4 minutes into overtime, technically. So,
Magnetic Squat says, I don't dive yet, but I have found that watching the diving channels is so very relaxing.
Well, if you dive, it's even that much more relaxing.
Imagine that. I'm assuming that he's taking lessons or he's thinking about it or he's planning on it because he said, yeah. Exploring with a nug.
Hey, Jeremy.
Is Nug on here now?
Yeah, yeah. It's about
What's up,
time
Nug?
he showed up. Yeah.
Miss Laurel's in the house.
And
Causing
if you
trouble
want
again.
to watch some great cat toy stuff and advice on cats,
Yeah.
check out Cat Toy Lady. Never mind going to Exploring with Nug's channel. Check out Candace's channel, Cat Toy Lady. Great channel, great channel.
Friendly, inviting. You can also learn how to make your own cat toys for really cheap. So
That's right.
if there's some other cat lovers in the house, you can save yourself some money watching these videos.
That's right. But remember, forget all about Exploring with Nick. I'm just kidding, of course. Jeremy's a great guy. Flash in Your Pan has been supporting his channel for a while, morally and in other ways. Great guy. Great guy. It was finally able to meet him down in Nashville. I just thought it was crazy how many people kind of said, "Hey, it's Ed." You remember going across on the boat? I'm like, gee whiz, really? But it was great seeing Jeremy and Candace and meeting Broc and seeing Sam and Jared again. It was a huge surprise seeing Doug again. That was great people, great memories.
Oh, definitely.
I hope to be able to get to some more stuff like that, Broc, and actually help.
Oh, we'll definitely all be getting together again. That's for sure.
Oh, Cat Toy Lady said, just overhyped, guys. On Jeremy. Oh, just overheard. She said, but we were overhyping too.
You're welcome, Candace. She's awesome. Hey, Nug. Be a little bird on Dallas's shoulder for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dallas is a diver from Arizona, I believe is his home base. Yeah, there's Cat Toy Lady in the house. All subscribe to her. Let's get a subscribe spike for her. You can go ahead and unsubscribe to Nug and subscribe to her. Of course, Jeremy knows I'm joking. Love that guy. He's a great guy. He has a killer sense of humor, too. So.
Oh, he's a riot. For sure.
Oh, yeah. He's. You know we love you, Jeremy. Broc, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure. I'm sure I could speak for the whole crew. It's been our pleasure having you on. And I can't say enough about the direction you're going in and the things that Jeremy or Jared has put in momentum or has put the things I just can't say enough about Adventures with Purpose, Sam, you, Jeremy, and Jeffrey, Britt. There's so many of them. Muddy Bottom Adventures and our friends here, Clean Water Project. Also, oh, where is he? I'm having a blank on his name at the moment. Dive for Good. Dive for Good. All great channels, all great guys with the mission. And I bet you Scuba Sonia would want to get on in some of that action too. If
Oh, I
you
wouldn't
could
doubt it.
tear her away from scuba diving in the Dominican Republic. Because
I don't know. She might be spoiled to that water, though.
I know she lies. She says, hell yeah. I knew she would. I knew she would. Everybody, thank you most of all for joining us tonight for this great episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Broc the Rock. Thank you very much, Squatch, for the super chat, my friend. And all the Flash fam, love you dearly. Thank you for making this. I'm going to go out on the deep end again, guys. Making this all our favorite day of the week.
You bet.
Hey, thank you.
And remember, everybody except for ERRT Radio, next week's Open Line Tuesday, where you could be our guest. Just kidding, ERRT. Just kidding, Ronald, our friend. And then we have another great lineup for next month. If any of you are interested on joining us on Tuesday Night Hangout Live, please feel free, give me a shout on the email, flashinyourpan@gmail.com. I do schedule 2 to 3, sometimes 4 months out. So first come, first come,
Yeah.
first serve with the guest slots.
Brian, I'm gonna call in next week.
Yeah, next week.
Me too. Yeah.
First time caller, long time listener.
You're welcome, Ronald. You're welcome. Everybody, thank you all for joining us again. Good night. God bless. Have a most excellent week.
Look who shows up late.
What's up, Pioneer Polly?
Hi, bye, Polly.
Speaking of dangerous situations, Pioneer Polly, our friend, I hope you feel better really soon, my friend. You should know better. Always dive with the dive buddy. Oh, but thank God you're all right.
For
That's
sure.
all we care about.
He's shopping for a life jacket.
Well, we care about you, and your community cares about you, Paulie. I'm just glad you're alive, and because you know how quick things can happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note,
Yes. What?
I think it's that time we wrap up because my job for post-production will take about an hour, and
Yeah, well, you've been wrapping up for the last 10 minutes, so.
it is what it is. All right, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan.
You know what he's gonna say next.
That's right, because it does happen. Ask Broc.
Really? Okay.
Ask Rose.
Yeah, it does happen.
Maybe one day, too, we'll all meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Guys,
Love you all.
night.
Night, folks.
Night, Ed.
Good night, Jeffrey. Squatch.
Night, bro.
The world's greatest moderator, Nikki, Miss Laurel,
David B.
wish her good night.
Mark.
Laura will do a girls' night together. soon.
Melissa, thank you. Pioneer Polly, thank you.
Make sure you get that email to them. Let's get in contact with you later.
I believe I have an email from Melissa.
Oh, awesome.
I have to check. I'll forward it.
Good night, Brian.
Brian,
Night outdoorsy girl down low.
any more numbers, Brian, I'm going to take away your rent.